Hello everyone, welcome to Rep Sports. Rahul this side, and of course, this is a very special conversation because alongside me, it is Amelia Valverde, who recently uh, became the head coach of Indian women's senior football team. You all know that within 1.5 months there is AFC Asian Cup, Women's Asian Cup, and our Indian team will take part, and they stand a great chance to qualify for the FIFA World Cup for the first time. If they can finish within the top eight, then they stand a great chance, a realistic chance to qualify for the FIFA World Cup. And here is Amelia Valverde, who has been appointed as a coach of the Indian senior women's football team. The first coach, obviously, the first question, obviously, coach, just 40 days to go for the tournament, and you have been given the responsibility. How difficult it is, what actually motivated you to take this responsibility? Because too much pressure, lot of expectation as well. Because from the moment people, got aware about the FIFA World Cup chance, huge expectation is building up. It's very difficult. So, what motivated you to take this job?
Well, first, regards to everybody. I'm really happy to be here. Well, I think you have said a lot of words that are really important for this. The possibility of being in a World Cup first, then the motivation, not just for me, if not too of about the girls, about the group.
Mhm.
Um, I think for me has been really important to see all the process, study a little bit the history about this team for take my decision. I am really happy to be here first because one different and international federation has looking for my name. That's a really honor for me and big responsibility. And then because uh, when there was the first time we talked for this chance, I started to like study the team. And when I saw the tournament they did in Thailand, the all the things that the girls has been doing in the field, I felt something like different. I think this team is a little bit different, has an energy different. It remembers me Costa Rica when we were starting in soccer a little bit. Almost all the girls are playing in their country. So there is a chance, a possibility. We just want now to have the best energy and trying to control what we can control, and that's train very very good. Try to play and get better in physical part, in psychologist part, in tactical part, in technical part. So we are trying to do that, and we don't know how it's going to be the result final or the final result. We don't know that, but we know that we have to work for be the most competitive team as we can. And then life and football will say. But now we are trying to be very responsible with the preparation, and we are really happy to be here.
Absolutely, and we all know that you have got an impressive CV. Coaching in three World Cup. One in under 20 and two with the senior Costa Rica women's team. But we'll talk about that later. But as you said that you have already started the preparation for the AFC Women Asian Cup with the Indian team. I think it has already been 3 or 4 days with the group there in Antalya in Turkey. So how has been the preparation so far? How has been the first 3 to 4 days? You have already seen the group. I think you have already spoken to the group, every players. So what's your assessment regarding this group?
Well, first, really, like really happy, as I already said, that this first 3 4 days has been very interesting because for me it's very important to know or to can know very much about each player, even know about the staff. This staff has been with the girls maybe I don't know, like a year in a row. They are going to be working, they are going to be doing a really great job. So this first day for me has been for now all the team, then trying to start to put my idea that I don't want to do something so much different. because we don't have so many time. As you say, we just have 40 days. And now, well, we have been trouble with some things, but because we have a problem with the weather, it's raining so much and other things, but I think we have to adapt. We have to try to do the best as we can in this situation. So these days has been that, knowing each other, talking with the girls, trying to know the coach Chris too, that I have to be very close to him and trying to put my idea in everything that can be better for the team.
That's great. That's great. Have you identified any leader in this team? And of course, in a football team, one captain only was the armband. But of course, and apart from one captain, there used to be several leaders in the team. So far, have you identified any such leader in this team? And also, how are you also trying to gel close with every girls in this group?
Well, first, I'm trying to know everyone. I don't know, there are 35 people, 35 people, different persons, and it's so many time to getting closer to each one. Um, for example, I am almost ready with the names, with the
Oh,
name, the girls, knowing her positions. When I say yes to come here, I study and I know how they play. I know how the team has been doing. I know that they were in the league before came here. Well, everything like that. But it's important for me be like closing to each one a little bit with the staff too. What are the role of each one? How do they do the things? Because everything has a routine. Everything in the world has a routine. And maybe I think that things can do like an A and they do like B. So maybe I want to change something, but I don't want to be like the person who changed everything in one moment. So these days, I've tried to, as I said, be close into the girls, know how they play, knows the names. It's unbelievable, but that's true. And I think it has very interesting, very interesting players. Of course, I know who are the leaders. I can see that too. Maybe exists one another leader that they don't, for example, put the captain ban or something, but every team has leader without that. So I think how I say to the girls, anybody is about the team, everybody's important. We need to be together, we need to be strong, and that's what we are trying to do now.
that's great. But you have just, I think, around 40 days to go for the AFC Asian Cup. So how difficult will be that? Do you see potential in this team? Is there really a realistic chance, to make it to the World Cup?
Of course, if I wouldn't see in potential or a possibility, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be here because I like the teams that are winners. I like the teams that are different. And maybe this team has 23 years of don't being in this situation, of be absent of the AFC Cup or the tournament that is going to play. But how I already said, this team, I can see something different in this team. They are really brave. They are really, really, really responsible with the partner, with everybody. I know they have responsibility in their country and they are here for 40 years, for 40 days. That's really important too. And I think now the most important is to keep working. I think if the team is better in the physical part, is going to be really good for them because, for example, I don't know, we know who is Japan, of course, but for example, Vietnam and Taipei, I think we have to compete to them. We have to try to compete. And these teams came from a World Cup already. We don't have a group that you can say we're going to qualify just like that. We have to work to qualify. and they have their history too. So as I said, I saw a really commitment group, a group that wants, and a group that is working to do that. Really, really good energy for train, really good disposition. And I think in individual they have a lot of good teams. We have two players that they are going to come, as you know. And that's the most important for me. When I saw the videos, that was one of the reasons to accept. That's why I'm here, because I saw something different, and now I'm going to try to work to put my energy, my experience, my knowledge to in the service of the team.
Absolutely, that's great. Now we'll talk a bit about yourself, because your story is very interesting, to be honest. Because that transition that you made, at such a young age, turning coach from a player at just the age of 23. Can you tell us a bit about that transition? What made you to take that responsibility of coaching? Suddenly from a football career.
Mm, well, I was a football player in my university, and I was in a team named Flores, but it's not was in first division, but it wasn't professional. We don't have professional football in Costa Rica in women's yet. So we were playing. We went to the finals of the tournament, everything, and when we finished, our head coach told us, all the girls, okay, I will call you. You have a couple of weeks of vacations. I'm going to call you for start the preseason, well, everything. And here we are waiting that call. So he never called. The organization of the club, I was the captain of the club, so called me and told me, Amelia, the coach doesn't answer. We cannot find him. We don't have money. We don't have money for another coach. Our resources are really short. So we're going to quit this team. I think you can tell to the players they can go to another team if they want. So I made a meeting. I'm going to do that short story. I made a meeting, and I told them, explain the situation, and one of them told me, why don't you take the team? And I was like thinking, oh my God, I was finishing my university. I am a teacher or professor of physical education. And I told them I can do that maybe, but so I have to retire it and everything. But I thought, what can I lose? I can try. And that's the reason. As I retired, everybody asked me if I injured or something, but no, that's why. So I took the team for 2 years, and when I started to the first games, I just feel in my inside, this is my place. It's not in the field, it's here. So yeah, I thought I am not going to play football in a professional way, never more. So I decided that was my space, and 2 years later, the head coach of national team from Costa Rica, Carla Alemán, called me. I need a fitness coach. And I am not that. And she told me, come on, you can do it. I need help. So I decided to go. I left the team, Flores, and went to national team as a fitness coach, 2 years, then 2 years as assistant. And then the life took me to be the head coach of national team for 9 years. So I was 13 years in my national team. That's been a big honor for me, because of course it's very important. I had 3 World Cups, and now here I am. Then I have the opportunity to went to Mexico, and that's the reason why I am head coach since 23.
That's really incredible. I mean, from becoming
Welcome.
coach at 23 to guiding Costa Rica to two senior World Cup and also in the under 20 World Cup. If I ask you to reflect on that World Cup experience, can you tell us a bit about that experience? Coaching Costa Rica in World Cup. How was that experience actually?
Mm, I think it's a really emotional question for me, but in the first one, in the under 20, was as assistant, was really nice because Costa Rica had a lot of time of doesn't go to a of didn't go to a World Cup in under 20, under 17, and it was in Canada. So that generation was really important for the country. It is still important now. And then we went. Had the opportunity of take as a head coach to the girls to the senior team in Canada 2015. I think for me it's really honor. It's really important. It's really special because it was the first time Costa Rica was in that situation, in that experience. Costa Rica at that moment had like 12 games in World Cups in history and never could even draw a game. And we could draw two games in that one. We draw versus Spain and versus Korea, and we lost versus Brazil 1-0. But the girls could compete spectacular. So then happened like 8 years, and we could go to New Zealand and Australia 2023. It was a long trip to get there and again. We lost the qualification in 2018 to go to France, to World Cup of France, and we had a really bad, a really bad tournament to qualify. Um, so it was a really trip that has ups and downs. And now I think that everything had to be like it was. In the moment, maybe we don't understand, but is what it is, or was what it was. And in 2023 was very special too, because we qualified in Monterrey, by the way. I worked there, then I worked there, but we qualified and we could qualify to our second World Cup senior, and the girls were really happy. That's the truth. FIFA has changed some opportunity to
Hmm.
the teams. It has more spaces for more national team. For example, now Asia has 8, and that it doesn't happen before. CONCACAF has just four places, and
Right.
two goes to the play to the next. Hi. Okay, to the place versus Intercontinental. So I think when I think to close the answer, when I thought about the World Cups with the girls, for me is a special moment, a honor moment. I'm going to be with that in my heart for all my life, and I'm going to try now to be close of one more with this team. So that experience make me more responsibility with this team now.
Dude, a very similar story. I mean, you helped Costa Rica, to fulfill their World Cup dream, and now India also dreaming, also having a similar dream. I think it will be unprecedented if it happens, and hopefully you will help us to, fulfill that dream. But before accepting this offer of Indian football team, what's your perception regarding Indian football or Asian football? Because if I'm not wrong, I think you haven't coached outside South America, if I am not wrong, in your long career so far. So, what's your perception before accepting this job of Indian football team?
Well, in the first touch or in the first talks, I was a little bit like thinking a lot. I started to study a little bit more because I knew already that India was qualified. I like to try to be with all the news day by day, and so I thought, well, I want to see I want to see the team playing, I saw the play versus Thailand. They played versus Nepal, I think in October. So I was watching the games. So I started to think if that could be a real possibility. I think we have a lot of conversations with Federation because, of course, they wanted to be happy with the decision, and I wanted to be happy with the decision. So then of a couple meetings, I study, think, talk to my family. That's really important for me. This is a big decision. Knew that I was going to be 2 months out of Costa Rica, but that was important for me too. This is, I think, is a really good opportunity, and it's a really big responsibility. But I like that. To be for me, it's an honor because we are the first staff because we're here with a couple of partners, fitness coach and goalkeeper coach from Costa Rica too. We are, for example, the first technical staff in the history that are going to be with or is with a national team different and have the opportunity of qualify to a World Cup with another federation. We're the first one, and that's responsibility as Costa Rican too. So I think um, that's life. That's life. Life put some opportunity in the paper or in the trip, and I decided to take it. I'm really happy for that. And now that I am here, I'm a little bit more adapted each day. I am sure that first I am trying to be a better trying to do of this group a better group like everything, so we just have to wait, try to be very responsible, try to do the thing that everything in the day with a lot of love, and just believe that we can make history. We don't have a easy group, that's the truth. We don't
You know,
have a easy, we have to say what it is, but we know that the girls,
ironically.
yeah, um, I know the girls want to do the things good, and that's the more value that you can have in a group. So that this position is great. I surprised more every day of that. And today we couldn't go to train, for example, because the rain is and the storm. So now we have to go to the gym, a couple meetings, and that's what we have to do. And tomorrow we have to, if we have to do a double session, we have to play, we have to resolve. The girls are almost ready. They don't get angry. They are just ready. And that's difficult, but that's cool too.
Okay, coach, I won't hamper your plan today. I will cut it short. My last two question, my second last is obviously, of course, I've already asked you about the perception of Indian football, but have you managed to know about the league culture, the league system, the league structure in Indian football? I mean, obviously, a league, it's backbone of a national team. League makes a pipeline for the national team, and also, have you got to know about some Indian women footballers who play abroad like Monisha Kallan or Avika Singh? So do you see any chance of them to, get an opportunity ahead of the AFC Women Asian Cup in your camp?
Well, first about the league, I think, let me see if I can explain this. I think it's very important that the country has a league.
Yeah.
It's just a short time. I know for example, in a year they played, I think that are 2 months, right?
Yes.
And then they stop, and the girls return to every place and work and everything. And then they come back and they make the, I think, 1 month of preseasons, and then, but I think the most important thing in this is that they started to do this because they were in zero.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody, I think, that knows that can be better, of course. But the most important now is that you have a league and the girls are competitive. The girls has the opportunity of be better in their lives.
Yeah.
For example, now with the tournament AFC, a lot of women a lot of children are going to see the girls playing competitive versus Japan versus Taipei versus Vietnam. So maybe they are going to want to play, and they are going to touch one of the teams and say, "I want to go to play." And there's going to be more teams. There's going to be maybe a league of 2 months. No, now it's going to be a 3 months league, and there's going to be growing. So I think that because somebody here I don't told me we have a leave of 2 months, it's so short. Yes, but you have a league, and now you have to make a strong that league. So I think that's important, and now you have the opportunity of that these girls win in the maximal tournament in the confederation, and 23 years later. And what are we going to do, or what are you going to do with that? That's so valuable, because it's opportunity. I don't know if we're going to qualify, but if this girl is qualified, it's going to change the country. Absolutely true.
No doubt.
Uh, yeah, but now so we have something secure, that is that they are going to be in the tournament, and a lot of people, a lot of children are going to watch these girls playing soccer, playing football, sorry. So I think that's the first one. And the second one, with a couple of players that they are outside. Now Federation and Coach Chris, staff and me are trying to talk with the teams, with the clubs. We are trying that for the girls be before. We don't know, we don't have date yet, but we are trying to have as more as possible, the time as possible. So when it will be confirmed, you will know, of course. So we are trying to talk to Alianza and the Denmark Club and everything to the girls be here the most fast as possible as we can.
Oh, that's great. Hopefully, they will make it to the squad before the prestigious competition. My last, obviously, message for the fans, because you have already become talk of the whole nation. Everyone is talking about you. So, what your message for them? Ahead of the AFC Women's Asian Cup.
Mm, I I would like to say that you have to believe in the process. The process is not of 40 days, and the process is long. The process started, I don't know, one and a half year later, before when they started to they qualify the first part and everything. And I want to say that you have a senior women's national team that has players really serious, that they are going really focused to, with a determination special. And we don't know, we cannot control the result, we cannot control what is going to happen, but they are control everything really good. They are trying to practice to prepare really good as a not professional players, as a person that have some commitments. So these girls are working for let the name of India really, 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 really tall at the top. So I just can say that trust, have a good vibes, be positive with this team, and we're going to try to do the best work as possible we can.
Outstanding, outstanding. I think one thing has really struck me in this conversation, that is that you said that no doubt if the women can qualify for the World Cup, I think that will change everything in our country. That will inspire more girls, take football as career. That's for sure. Thanks a lot, coach, for giving us this valuable time, and of course, best wishes to you and your whole team for the AFC Women Asian Cup. And thanks once again for giving us time. Great conversation. Thank you, coach.
Yeah. Bro, bye.